Today is the first day that it's kind of cooler. It's like gonna be 77 today. Clouds are pretty gray. It looks like it might rain. There's always one or two of these days in August that is kind of like a precursor of, you know, fall's coming. Just kind of feels fall-y. Happens once or twice every August, and this is one of those days. Starting to rain. Tarp for it. Yeah, so with this rough sawn lumber, I had about 10% of them dry, kind of twisted. So this is a tool I made to kind of straighten the boards out so I can nail them in straight. It'll definitely be interesting to add the numbers up on this house, this cabin at the end, because it definitely didn't cost very much compared to, you know, financing a house build. Just a simple house doing that would be $300,000 or $400,000, and then the bank owns it until you find the money to pay it off. So I don't even know how much I spent on it, but it's really not that much, and I think anyone can do it this way if they have the willpower to. Well, I made a mistake that I had to fix. So, building the windows, I measured it out for the width of the window, but then I forgot to factor in the sill plate, or whatever it's called, 2 inches. So, all my windows were 2 inches too short. I'm glad I caught it before I freaking put it all back, or sheeted it. So, I had to go through, remove the sill plate, and cut all the cripples and lower them down 2 inches on these 4 windows and this 5th window here, and the one I just built. So the other ones are good. For some reason I built those ones correctly. Anyway, about a 6-hour mistake, but I'm going to try to get this second section of wall built now and go from there. Well, it's good morning out. It's like got really cold up here this morning, like 40 degrees for August. That's cold. It's got a high today of 80. Anyway, yeah, I worked on this wall quite a bit later till about 5 yesterday, but then I went out on my e-bike and elk scouted. Went elk scouting and hiking. Hiked about 6 miles. Anyways, I'm back here this morning and just getting it wrap this top part done. So building that, I just got to cut some stuff on the mill to get this done. Then I'm gonna plane it, plane the high spots down, get it square and brace it. Same thing for that one. Then I'm gonna join the 2 of them and brace them real good, get everything set up, get the rigging set up for the winch and all that. Hopefully get this thing raised pretty quickly. So I gotta pack this down. Either pack it down, probably just grab the rhino and mill it into a 3-inch section for a header. So, Well, we also made a pretty decent purchase a couple of weeks ago, and so it finally showed up. But got a new generator, so got it out of the box. Gonna get it set up. I gotta add oil and whatnot to it, but it's a 7500 running watts, 9500 peak watts, dual fuel, so it runs propane or gas. And then it's got electric Bluetooth start, so I can start it from wherever I want and turn it off. And it's got an inverter, so I don't know if anyone knows what that means, but inverters, it's kind of like a capacitor. It charges up, and then so the engine only runs as hard as it needs to, so it saves on fuel. Yeah, I know personally I'd rather cast away all my illusions, and everything that I own I buy with cash that I've earned. I don't like to finance stuff because it just never feels like you fully own it, and it also feels like somebody has control over you and your life and the actions that you do, being that you got to pay it off, and so you go to work every single day paying it off. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying that's not how I like to do things. And so building this cabin is kind of along the lines of that philosophy, is just paying for it as I go. And so I may not be able to finish the whole thing all at once, but most likely that'll be because of the time it takes to mill all the interior boards and plane them and all that stuff. It'll be a 2 or 3 year process this way. Well, I gotta get the cable set up first before I get too carried away. I might throw 1 or 2 more small braces on this, but going for that tamarack right there, you can see it. So once I get that set up, I can drag this whole wall forward so that it's butted up against those, and that way it doesn't kick out the jacks. So before I do the jacks, I got the winch set up, get that thing on there. That's what we'll do next. Alright, got the cable on there. Ran it up to that tamarack. So I'm going to pull the tension out of it now. It should slide up to these boards. Now we're pretty much ready to go. Got to throw the jacks under it once it moves, but ready to go. I'm gonna take a quick break. We should be good to go. Actually, I might put a spare strap on that just in case. All right. Watch over. Yeah, it's truly unbelievable what you can do with your mind. You know, the power of the mind is a real thing, and I just think it's one of the most important things to do in life is try to discover that principle. And I think, you know, if more people had free time to look within and think about things like that, you know, the world would be a lot better place. But they seem to keep people pretty busy in the rat race, and it doesn't give them enough time to discover their true power. And I'm not claiming to have it all figured out or anything like that. I just think that if you could truly grasp how bizarre of a mystery life is, how much of a miracle phenomenon it is to be alive at all, you wouldn't waste another day in your life, and that's a fact. I know that from experience. Well, alright, I'm going to try to winch it with the battery that's on the trailer, but it's pretty low. It's dead almost, even though I just charged it. So if that doesn't work, I'm going to have to swap out the batteries that I have in the truck, and that'll get it the rest of the way up. And then I'll have to buy a new battery. Man, that battery's only like 1.5 years old, but it's done all the logging and the logging trailer thing, so I can see how it's worn out. It just sucks, because that's a $150 battery, so. Well, stand by. I gotta take the motor out of the battery out of the truck and do it that way. It was almost had it. I could have just held it and kept it, but it was smoking the wire, and I didn't want to melt down the wire, so. All right, got the battery. Cut. Well, it turns out it's not the battery. Took this battery off. This battery's charged, and it's just frying this wire still. So this wire is shot, even though it looks like it can do something. I have to cut that section of it out anyways. Anyway, it won't do anything. It just sits there and clicks, and I don't have time to like mess with it right now. So what I'm gonna do is take this come along, this hand winch, and hopefully hook it up to that spot there, and then onto the trailer, and I should be able to hand winch it the rest of the way. Because I was gonna do it with the truck and just pull forward, but it's not subtle enough. It'll just, you know, that truck's hard to drive as it is. So anyways, I'm gonna get set up and we'll see how it goes. Well, this is either gonna work well or not work well. Get this up to that. Got here super early this morning, got a bunch done. Got these sheets on here. Getting the second row put up, so. And I got my router today, so these windows, it kind of screwed it up. I got it dialed in though, but it'll be easy to cut out the windows with the router. So I'll just sheet over them, whatever's laying over it. And then there's a gap here, but this is a door, so it's gonna get cut out when I get a door. And so it doesn't really matter if the two sheets have whatever kind of a crappy cut, but I use those two pieces because this is all like grade B plywood, so there's definitely defects in it, but getting it sheeted, man, pretty excited. Sheeting usually goes pretty quick. This lower sheeting goes quick. Upper sheeting is always a drag, but I'll keep going. It's gonna be hot again. The temp's back up to like 96, so I like to start real early and work as fast as I can. I just didn't have time or patience to try to film it, but now that I got my flow going, probably do a little bit of recording on this. So I'm mainly gonna try to get 2 rows done all the way around, and that should add a bunch of shear strength, and then we'll get the beam in and start the second story floor. So Sunday morning. Hi, Bandit. Bandit's searching for something.